Welcome to the story of liberty. There's a great story about a young Indian maiden named Pocahontas, a lovely girl who had many talents, and she met Captain John Smith, and after several skirmishes with the Indians, John Smith was captured and taken to the great chief Powhatan. Powhatan is dressed in raccoon skins and wears a crown of red feathers. He sits on a platform with his two daughters at his side. The youngest, Pocahontas, only 13 years of age. Pocahontas brings a bowl of water and she washes his face and a bunch of feathers for a towel, and Captain John has his trial and he's condemned to die. The Indian rolls a stone into the wigwam and the captain's head is laid upon it. Two warriors raise their clubs to beat out his brains. But the time has come, and yet Captain John does not tremble, and the Indians see that the white man can die without a sign of fear. But the youngest girl at his side, Pocahontas, she gazes upon the scene with commotion in her heart. At last she is bending over him, shielding Captain John from the clubs, ready to descend upon his skull. And she pleads, please do not kill him. Do not kill him. The great chief Powhatan loves his daughter and for her sake spares the captain's life. It's an amazing story of this life of Pocahontas, and later she was kidnapped and held for ransom, but there was a young man named John Rolfe who had become hopelessly enamored with her. He loved her, and marriage at that point seemed the only honorable solution to his dilemma. Accordingly, he sent a letter, and the letter got to Powhatan, and it must have brought a reaction of stunned amazement for everyone. The letter was like a sunburst through a clouded sky. All the people involved in the great Chief Powhatan were amused by the prospect because they were threatened with a showdown and now brightened and blossoming like wildflowers. Here was the most engaging sort of divine providence at work. There was going to be a wedding, the first between a white and an Indian. And both sides seemed eminently pleased at the prospect. The great chief Powhatan declined to attend in person, but he sent his brother to give the bride away, the young bride Pocahontas. And a number of his braves were the honor guard at this wedding. It was a glorious feast and affair, and the first time that whites and Indians had been able to relax in each other's presence for several years. And thanks to the great Powhatan's generosity, it was the first time the settlers were truly well-fed in almost as long period of time. Pocahontas, now called by her Christian name Rebecca, she went to England at the request of the Virginia colony, and the partners were delighted at the newfound peace between settlers and Indians. This young lady, this young Liberty woman, had made a very favorable public display of peace. Rebecca Pocahontas was the belle of London society when she got there, and even the dames of London were taken with her beauty and her grace. And they found her innocence perfectly charming. As it turned out, she never returned back to America. She contacted pneumonia and died shortly before her scheduled departure. And Pocahontas was truly a Liberty woman.